What would you advise a businessman to do who is owing plenty, who is owing a lot of money to many people, and wants to come out of debt and focus mainly with the banks? How you can get yourself out of the debt problem? There are four solutions that I have for you. The first one is to restructure the loan. What restructuring means is this: every loan has three legs. Every loan has three legs. The first leg is the principal, the amount of money you collected. 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, principal. The second leg is the interest, the amount of interest you agreed to. 5% a month, 20% a year, there's an interest portion, there's an interest leg. The third portion is the time, the duration, the tenor for which you collected that loan. 3 months, 1 month, 6 months, 6 years. Every loan has a tenor. So every loan has these three legs: the principal, the interest, and the time. And when you are trying to restructure a loan, these are the three legs you are going to play with. So usually the principal is the least that you can negotiate, because the person gave you 10 million. The person at the minimum wants their 10 million back at the minimum. So of the three legs, principal is the one you cannot really negotiate that much when it comes to a loan. So let's leave it. The next is interest. Interest is very negotiable. When I took this loan from you, I took it at 5% a month or 10% a month. But based on the realities of my business and based on what the economy is doing, the truth is that it's not workable for me. So can we revise? That's one thing. Can we revise the loan? You gave me the loan at 10%. Can we revise it to 5%? Right? So this is somebody who gave you 10 million, for example. Like I said, the minimum they expect from you is to get their 10 million, their principal back. But they can negotiate, they can come down on the interest from 10% to 5%, as long as it will increase the chances of you paying them back their money. So you'll be like, oh, the interest that has accrued on the basis of 10%, I will not be able to pay that. In fact, I'm prioritizing paying you your principal. But the interest, I can only afford 5%. You can negotiate interest, right? The third thing you can negotiate is, in fact, another thing for interest is, you can also forgo interest. If interest has accrued, you then say, I know I'm owing you 20 million. Of that 20 million, 10 million is principal. That's what you give me. The other 10 million is interest that has accrued. What I will do is I will prioritize paying you back your 10 million. But of the 10 million interest, I can only afford 2 million. Or I can only afford 3 million or 5 million. So it's a very sensible thing. The money you give me, I'll prioritize it. I'll pay you back that first. But the interest on top, we need to negotiate that, because my chances of paying you back will depend on how amenable you are on the interest portion. So even if interest has accrued, you can shave off some of the interest. You can forgo some of the interest. You can renegotiate the interest rates. Those are things you can do. Everything I'm telling you is on the basis of how you can restructure a loan. The third leg that you can restructure is the timing, the time. So if you took a loan and you say you're going to pay back in 6 months, you can negotiate and say, the way the economy is, the way my business is, the kind of challenges I'm facing, I cannot pay you back in 6 months. Please, I'm asking to restructure to pay you back in 1 year, or pay you back in 1.5 years, or pay you back in 2 years. Remember what I said, the ground rules. Your creditor wants their money back. So as long as you are saying things that are along the lines of them getting their money back, they will listen to you. That's why it is terrifying when you are avoiding their calls or evading them. They think you don't want to cooperate. But the moment you are cooperating and you are saying, fine, I took this loan, I said I was going to pay you back in 6 months, but I never expected what happened. I didn't expect that inflation would be this high. I didn't expect that the product would not move this well. I didn't expect that there would be fraud, right? You don't say, I can't pay back in 6 months. Let me pay you back in 1 year or 18 months. Another thing you can do with time is, I know we agreed that I will pay you back at the end of every month. But the way things have changed, this is what I propose. I can't pay you back at the end of every month. I can pay you back at the end of every quarter, every 3 months. Why? I need that money. I need to plow back that money into the business so that I can make enough turnover to pay you. If you ask me to pay you at the end of every month, it will not be possible to do that. But if you can agree to pay you every 3 months, I can keep that. You see, it's reasonable. The creditor wants their money back. And all you're giving them are ideas on how they can restructure the arrangements they have with you. So you can say, I can pay you back at the end of every month. I can pay you back every 3 months. You can also say this: every month, I'm supposed to pay you back the interest and a portion of your principal. But the way business is going, I can't pay you back the two of them at the same time. You know what? You gave me 10 million and we agreed 10% interest, right? I've renegotiated for 5% interest as part of restructuring this deal. But the other thing I want us to do is this. Instead of paying you the 5% of 10 million, which is 500,000 every month, plus a portion of the 10 million, plus a portion of the principal, what I'm asking for is to only pay you the interest every month. And then the principal, I'll pay you at the end of 12 months. I'll pay you at the end of the new period we have agreed. What you are doing is you are restructuring the way you are paying the cash flow. You are restructuring the cost of the debt. You are pushing around. You are restructuring the timing of the repayments. You are restructuring the duration of the loan. This is what restructuring means. Playing with the interest rate, playing with the timing, playing with the duration. Like I said, the least amenable, the least flexible is principal, because anybody who gives you a loan at the minimum expects to get the initial money they gave you, the principal, they expect it back. So this is one strategy you can use, restructuring the loan.